Help me. 34F. Address sex life with husband. 38M. 8 weeks postpartum. Together 7 years total. We live with my family in a multi-generational household, and I am exclusively BFing our newborn and co-sleeping in a different room since DH wakes easily. He also has body dysmorphia and probably depression and will be seeing a therapist next week. Before I got pregnant, we had some issues with how often we were intimate, and this has seemed to resurface now. I had a vaginal delivery with a second-degree tear 2 months ago. Got an IUD put in at 6 weeks and have been bleeding ever since. All of that on top of being the primary caregiver to our newborn son. My husband has a complicated relationship with our son. He doesn't feel bonded to him, and I believe is starting to resent him because I obviously have to give him most of my attention. He does help with caring for him by taking baths with him, changing diapers, a few bottle feeds, coming with us to all his appointments, etc. He just hates the sound of his cries and thinks it means he will be a brat later in life. To be clear, our son is on the fussier side, doesn't sleep through the night, etc. My husband is very self-deprecating about his physical appearance. He will call himself ugly, sometime joking and other times seriously. He has been expressing frustration with our sex life recently since we obviously haven't been able to have sex before 6 weeks PP. We were able to be intimate that week before I was cleared, just no penetrative sex. Last night the stars finally aligned and I was able to get baby down in his bassinet around 10 p.m. I tried to initiate sex by touching his body and kissing him, but my husband wouldn't even let me kiss him and then said it was too late at night and that he wanted to have PV sex, but since I was bleeding, it wasn't possible. To be clear, I have no issue with being intimate while bleeding so long as we put a towel down. This whole time I had to put his arms around me to get closer to him and he didn't respond at all to me touching him. So being that I am very sleep deprived, I said okay and started getting ready to move baby to where we sleep. Well, he decided that because I didn't push further it must mean that I didn't really want to have sex with him. I told him I'm not playing these stupid games. You said you didn't want to have sex and I believed you. At that point I was so pissed that I was completely turned off, so I took the baby and went to bed. He sent me a long text in the middle of night that he was done trying to have sex me and we would just be partners in raising our son. Am I in the wrong here? I don't know how to explain that our sex issues now are not the same as we had before I got pregnant. He wants me to do things a certain way, but when I ask how, he can't explain it to me. He wants things to be more spontaneous, but I literally can't do that with a newborn. TL. Doctor. Husband said he won't ask to have sex with me because I can't convince him that I want to have sex. ETA. I don't think my husband resents our son. I just see some things that could lead to resentment if nothing changes. My husband is still mourning the loss of our old life before baby. In no way do I think, or does anyone in my family think, he would ever harm our son. Despite his frustrations and not doing nighttime feedings, he has been very attentive. ETA. Any bleeding I have now is period, spotting blood, not from the tear. D. France commented, greater than my husband has a complicated relationship with our son. He doesn't feel bonded to him and I believe is starting to resent him because I obviously have to give him most of my attention. This is WAYYY more urgent than your sex life. C. Meba commented, wow. A lot of stuff being minimized here. You just gave birth, had a tear, are bleeding, and have been exhausted over the care of your son, who, while fussy, is still a baby, which normally cry quite a lot and have an irregular sleeping schedule. So even though you try to be intimate in other ways, as if that's not also his responsibility if he wants sex, he lashes out and says, "Don't even bother. We'll never have sex again. We'll just be partner parents." Wow, what an immature, emotionally cruel, manipulative, little f***seeking baby. And he has the audacity to suspect it's your son that may be the brat. Just wow. I would have been like, "Oh, that's really presumptuous of you. If you don't feel we should have a romantic relationship anymore, then let's just get divorced. We can co-parent that way and I can date others." It's so funny that he says he was done trying to have sex. What has he tried? What a gaslighting jerk. What kind of grown man is jealous of a baby for attention and thinks their crying is a sign of being a brat? That's so wrong. I don't care about his body image issues. He never should have had a kid with the maturity level of a demented middle schooler. You don't deserve any of this. I think you're putting up with way too much. He's awful. Period. Schnuggy67 commented. Op. I suggest marriage counseling as well as your husband's individual therapy.